Nobody cares about you until you win. Until you've done that thing that people can actually value and appreciate, you're basically nothing. And the most obvious change for me in my life was when I transformed my body from being 50 kgs and couldn't even do a push up back when I was 16 to when I turned 18 and I was benching 100. The way that people look at you and respect you differently when you've worked on yourself and you contribute to the world, at least as a man, is insane. Like the change, like people just treat you better and respect you and don't talk down on you once you've actually done something. And yeah, in school it was like, I think just people who were quite insecure and looked at me as an easy target would um yeah, treat me a lot nicer. Maybe it was just because they're out of school, they weren't in the environment, but until you win, like all of that time in between, all of the time in between where you have a vision and you want to set out to do something and you actually doing it is the hardest part, because no one is going to believe in you, no one's going to care about your goals, no one's going to hold your hand every single step of the way to make sure that you achieve them. It's on you to actually make that progress and to make that change in your life. And it's the same with girls and relationships and cold approaching and facing rejection. You in your heart know what kind of person you are. When you're lying in bed and the lights are off and you're just staring at your ceiling and you can't sleep, that's who you really are. When no one's watching you, when no one is pressuring you to be a certain type of person, or not, no situation is dictating who you are. And so only you really know who you are. And when you think about yourself deep down and you think about, maybe you're just a really sweet person and you're very caring and you have a lot of love for other people. And, when you go and cold approach someone or you go and ask for a girl's Instagram or, um, you put yourself out of your comfort zone and you go and take this risk and someone rejects you, they don't really know who you are. And when you've built yourself up and when you just look more, um, let's say masculine, or you look more capable, or if you're really good at a sport, then it makes it a lot easier to for people to like look at you at first glance and judge you by your cover, because everyone just judges people by their covers, and at the end of the day, like we can't avoid that. Um, but yeah, like you could be this very genuinely good person, and girls will miss that just because you're not um, at the time you might be skinny, or you might not have a lot of, you might not be as good at your sport, or you might not stand out from the crowd as much. And this person will be missing out on so much that, you deep down, like me deep down when I was 16, would get rejected and, people wouldn't take me seriously, or I'd be an easy target. And um, it didn't define who I was though. And so I guess the point is like, no one's going to really believe in you until you make it. And your value, wherever you are now, is not determined by what you've accomplished now, but what you're going to accomplish and what you set your mind to, and what sort of person you are now. Because once you make it, you don't magically become a nicer and more generous person. Your habits now, or your personality now, and what sort of person you are, how you treat other people, and how you love your parents, and all of that is determined by how you are now. And so once you get more life experience and you do become a better person on the way, you do in fact become more capable and more able to attract the right sort of person. You're able to attract the right sort of um, people into your life because they see your work ethic and they see your discipline. But it doesn't mean that you're any less valuable when you're starting. Before I was good at gym or volleyball or whatever, I remember just looking in the mirror and being so ashamed of what I saw and being so driven to change my situation and change the trajectory of my life. And I do think body positivity is a good thing in the sense of if you're fat or really skinny or whatever, however you look when you start, we shouldn't be making fun of people for how they start. As long as they're trying to make a difference and they're actually trying to better themselves. Like body positivity for disabilities is awesome. And for people who can't, like, people who have been in a car crash or in a burning building saving a family of three, like, we should be body positive. When I was 16 and I didn't like how my body was, it didn't mean I was worth less or I was um, less of a person or I should have thought of myself as this failure. It's like, no, I haven't done anything yet. I had no life experience. I had no idea what I was doing. And so if you're in that situation now where you're not happy with your life, it doesn't mean you're less valuable of a person. You're definitely less valuable in the realm of endeavor that you're trying to get better at. You're less valuable in whatever you're trying to be more skilled in or less valuable in your abilities. But as a person and your value, you like intrinsically you shouldn't think of yourself as a failure just because you are where you are now. Maybe it was just part of your story. Maybe your story was that you needed this this thing in life that sets you way back for you to overcome that and then become a better person because of that process of overcoming it. Who knows why you are where you are right now, but it doesn't mean you're less valuable. And so, when I think about myself as a 16-year-old kid, I was like, well, what did I do wrong for girls to ghost me or leave me undelivered or to not take an interest in me? And the reality is that not everybody is going to like you, but they don't even know you. And if they do know you and they don't like you, then that's okay because you're just being yourself and you shouldn't apologize for being yourself if you're staying true to what who you are. And so even now, like, I'm quite confident, even with everything I've built, I think I still have so much more to work on. And I imagine myself sometimes like driving this specific Corvette. It's a Z06 Corvette. And I imagine like how will these people treat me different when I drive this car in however many years time? Like how will people um, see me differently and or the girls who rejected me see me differently when I eventually do drive this car, whatever, right? It's just a hypothetical. I am still the same person I am 8 years ago or 7 years ago when I started going to the gym. I'm the same person and I will be the same person then as well. So why should I value myself any different when I know that the only difference between then and now is just time and what I did within that time and what I do within the next 5 years of time is going to separate me from how I am now and then and all the life experiences. And so I agree. I think, this isn't some red pill or black pill rant, but it's just saying that if you're not where you want to be yet, then it's okay. Um, Girls have a right to reject you. Girls have a right to not like you or want you because you're small and skinny or whatever. But it doesn't, don't take that as a discouragement. Don't, oh, like this one girl rejected you, so now I'm going to be really sad and do nothing about it. And I'm just going to be upset and sit at home. It's like, no, it's free energy. It's free motivation to change your situation. It's working for you, not against you. And I've had to ask a bunch of people to play tournaments, and yeah, it feels stressful because it's like I'm constantly being told no all the time. But it doesn't make me a worse person. I'd rather ask and risk being a failure than to not ask at all and then just be satisfied with inaction and knowing that I could have built something cool. I could have had a team that was really fun, but because I was too lazy or I was too scared of fear rejection, I didn't try. And so yeah, I look back and I look back at my life and I really struggled with confidence. I think confidence was the biggest thing because I have quiet parents and I was never good at speaking to crowds. And when I was in grade 7, I remember crying because I did this presentation and I forgot my script and I was so upset and I was so nervous and I cared so much about what people thought. And so I cried in grade 7. In grade 10, I cried again. I was just, well, we had this liberal teacher and he was kind of gay. And yeah, he basically like, just, I was just having a really tough time all week that week. And he just lashed out at me. And I just cried in class. And during that period of time and during school, and because I didn't have anything going for me, I think the fact that I was so upset all the time and so sad and like I relied on girls and talking to girls to value myself and to make myself feel good. Like my whole reward system was if I went and or I was liked by a person that I liked, then I would be happy. And in this time, I was like, all I could care about was getting home and playing Minecraft. All I cared about was stats and getting better at Sky Wars or Bed Wars or getting my stats up because then other people in the game would think I'm cool or I think I'm better. And every time I die, I'd rage in the like I'd quickly type a message saying you suck before I died. And I just remember like I've always been chasing approval and I've always been trying to get to the next level in like video games and stuff that doesn't matter. But then when I go to school and the girl that I really like doesn't like me back, and I'm all sad and miserable. It's like it was such a good cauldron of emotions to get me into the gym and to say enough is enough. I need to actually build something and work something for myself and provide value to myself so that I become so much above my competition that I'm basically forced to be someone that people can be like, or girls in particular for this case will be like, damn, this guy's like actually kind of jacked, or like, damn, this guy, James, like he's he's not the skinny kid anymore, and all I could think about like back when I was in grade 10 was like, I need to get jacked, so people will like me more, and then it became I just enjoy training through that process. And then it became I want to get better at volleyball because I just love it. I love the sport and I enjoy training for it. And so what started as this vain attempt at getting people to like me ended up being one of the best things for my mental health and for um, just my confidence in general. And even now, like, if I'm not doing something that is challenging or makes me better or improves myself like I originally had that drive, it's kind of like I just feel more depressed now if I'm not pushing like I used to be. Like, it's kind of a curse because when I was in grade 10 and 11 and I had nothing, I felt like I had nothing to lose and everything to gain. And that drive was like the most fun I ever had training. And so now, if I'm not getting better at something, I feel like I did back when I was in grade 10 before I trained. I feel like I'm not making progress and I'm not being ambitious enough and I'm just stressed because I'm not making or moving towards the direction that I want to be in. And so I guess the point with all of that is I was very anxious in school and even my first 3 years of university, I still was because I ended up building like a top 5% of people's physiques and I ended up like, looking pretty good. And I'd go to these volleyball socials and like girls wouldn't really talk to me or I never really got along with or got close to anyone. And I didn't value myself even when I had made it. Even when this was like maybe 3 years ago now, um, there was this one girl that I was really close to for about a year, and I was stuck in the friend zone, or I wanted or could see myself dating this person, but and we hung out so much, and I have really good memories with her, but it just she just wanted to stay friends, and it really hurt my confidence because I'm like I've just built myself up to be like all this hard work and all of this grinding, and I still can't um, get a girlfriend. And for the first 3 years of uni, I still couldn't really get a girlfriend. I still didn't feel loved, um, and now like that I did have a girlfriend like recently, and I have been loved, and I've felt all the affirmation. I realize like we can't value ourselves based off who likes us or who doesn't like us. God has made us in His image, and we're already perfectly made and perfectly created in our state and value to Him. And so the whole point is that people come and go, and you shouldn't be doing things for other people's approval. You should be doing it for you yourself, and be doing it for the fact that you have this gift of life and that you can work on whatever you want. And so you should be making the most of that time and that opportunity every single day, all your minutes, all your hours. You have less time than you think. And there's so much to be done. There's so much to be created in the short amount of time. And so we can't value ourselves and value our productivity based off how people think of us, or how much someone likes us, or um, how many relationships we've had, or whatever. Stay true to yourself and stay true to the fact that if you have nothing right now, you're in one of the best periods of your life. If you are in the darkest place, or you're in the lowest place of your life, you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. Like you're at rock bottom. It's good. Every time I think about my rock bottom, it's like been the best thing for me. I remember when I was in grade 11, like um yeah, that same girl that I was kind of friend zoned by, like basically one day she's like, it's too much for me. I need space. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're too clingy. You need real friends. And it hurt. Like, it hurt so much because I thought I had done everything right and I didn't see this coming. And I took it personally. Like, what did I do? And, looking back, I kind of see what she was saying because I was young, and all my, uh, all my value in myself was from this one girl. Like, I valued myself because this kind of attractive girl was talking to me all the time. And so I was like so upset. I literally didn't leave my house for I think it was 3 weeks. And all I did was work on this Lego stop motion at the time. And I did that for 10 hours a day. And then I'd go and eat a little bit. And then I'd work on another 5 hours. And then I'd go to bed. And I did that for literally 3 whole weeks. And it's kind of a happy sad when I look back at it. It's like, yeah, it was such a bad time, but I think back and it was like the most productive I've ever been in my life, and it gave me the most confidence that I can do anything I set my mind to because I work so hard, and I worked so damn hard at this time that it it skyrocketed my confidence in the long run. Even though during that time I was so upset and I didn't want to do anything and I didn't want to leave the house, that I actually did end up in a much better place, and so at the time I thought my value was so low, but now I look at where I am now and I'm like, I'm the same person. Why did I not value myself more then? And you have to kind of be a bit delusional now. Like, now that I'm chasing greatness and I'm chasing what other people think is delusional, and I'm chasing this goal where I'm trying to be the best possible version of myself, and I'm trying to do all these things. I'm trying to go pro in volleyball. I'm trying to eventually become financially free from content, and I'm in the gym all the time, and I'm fixing my shoulder. Like, all of these things that I don't have right now, I have to have the confidence and the ego to think that I will have it eventually, because to a degree, even when I started in the gym, I knew I'd get big. Even though I had no confidence and I couldn't talk to girls, all of those side products of getting big hadn't come yet. But because the belief was in here, And because I knew that I was going to someday get what I worked towards, that I could put the work in and follow going to the gym all the time. And so the bottom line is that you need to have this delusional self-belief and not delusionally value yourself, but delusionally believe that you're capable of doing everything you set your mind to. Because little me 8 years ago would be so proud of where I've come now. And I know that in 8 years' time, like I'll be so much more ahead than where I am now. It's like insane. Because now I've just spent the last 8 years learning how to work, learning how to believe in myself, learning how to stay true to my goals. And now that I can, imagine what I can do in the next 8 years. But the bottom line is that stop devaluing yourself because of what your situation and what your surroundings are telling you. And so everything is unlimited energy when you spin it the right way and you correct your thinking to see everything as an opportunity. For example, every rejection you get is just more motivation and free energy to work harder. Okay, she didn't like me. I guess I'll just use that as pre-workout, as energy to train even harder next time, or to go and put myself and make myself more uncomfortable so that I can get more confidence to look her in the eyes next time I ask her out or whatever, right? Everything is an opportunity. And so if everything is an opportunity, you need to make the most of rejections and failures and heartbreak, because not everyone is going to like you. No, they don't even know you. They don't even know what you're capable of doing. So stop listening to them, listen to yourself, work hard, and know that there are going to be better days. You just need to genuinely believe deep down inside of you that you are capable of doing all of these things that you want to.